We are live?
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
We are live.
We are live. Hi everybody.
Hi guys.
So welcome to Rocket Bean Roastery, and as you see by the topic today, we're gonna be talking about our new range of coffees. So basically, 4 new coffees in our range. So which we're gonna look a little bit closer of what we have. So my name is Ansis. I'm a managing director of the Roastery.
And my name is Martin. I'm head of the Roastery here just behind us.
And roast master, master of disaster, no one runs faster. That's how we call him, right?
Probably. I don't know
Probably,
that.
yeah.
Do you?
Absolutely. So guys, first of all, we want to thank you for being always with us. So in these days especially, we feel a lot of support from you, and that you still buy our coffee. So Roastery is working every single day, and we have full hands of job. And that's really thanks to you that you appreciate our coffees. Maybe
Absolutely.
a quick disclaimer before this video is that this is not going to be scientific or super geeky video.
Although if you
If you wish so. Yeah.
Next time.
Next time, absolutely. But we're going to be, in very easy way, talking about emotions connected to each of these coffees, and a little bit looking why we choose these particular coffees to be present in our range. What are the reasons? What are characteristics of each coffees?
And what's the story behind?
And why we like them, and hope you're going to like them as much as we do, all right? So we could jump into a new range of the coffees and look at them a little bit closer. And as you see in front is 4 new coffees in our range. So we're gonna start. First one will be our favorite Sweet Dream. So Sweet Dream, yeah. So Martin is gonna sing with you. Sweet Dream been in our range for already many years, and so the origin of the Sweet Dream have been changing. The previous one was Peru organic. This is also organically grown coffee, but this time it's a Colombian Tolima, and we are super excited for this coffee to be in our Sweet Dream product, as it's like really stands out as a beautiful, classy Colombian example. And what you already probably know about Sweet Dream, the roast profile, which Martin is going to talk a little bit deeper about this coffee, is tended to be like Omni roast, but we select this coffee for espresso use. So this Sweet Dream Colombian coffee is primarily used in espressos, and it's beautifully shines with the chocolatey notes, with the nutty notes, and the creaminess in a coffee. So, Martin, I'll give this coffee to you. Maybe you can tell a little bit more, some details, which you know as a roast master of this coffee, a little bit specifically.
Disaster, right?
Exactly.
No,
Don't take it personally. This master of disaster.
I will, in a positive way.
In a positive way.
Yeah, this coffee was a standout for me when we chose it on a cupping table. It was this, like a dark chocolate and caramel truffle. Have you tried them before?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like
crazy.
has everything. You have this sweetness, you have this pleasant bitterness at the end, and it's all about mouthfeel, and especially when we're talking about espressos. When we try the espresso, it has to be sweet. It has to be like intensive, and this is the reason actually when we do the shots, it's a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's like super intense, and once you have it, you taste it, you got it.
But that's what we can actually refer to the our top-selling product, Magic Pussy, right? So, which is usually when we go to the shows and we showcase our Magic Pussy espresso, then it's very short. It's like 1-to-1, 1-to-1.2 ratio. So basically the same. This coffee shines on this very short ratio, the small ratio, like 22 grams in and 22 grams out for the Sweet Dream. So that's what we find as a sweet spot for this coffee. That's really a Sweet Dream. So intensive and kicking flavor of these classic, beautiful Colombian flavors, right?
Absolutely. And then what's interesting, when you make with the milk, it becomes even sweeter. You know, it's like
Probably depends on the milk, right, as well.
also of course. But if you get it right, it's like a Raphael. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but it's like, you know, this blanched almonds with
Roasted.
roasted with
Roasted, yeah.
white chocolate that has this silky that's white cream inside. Oh man,
It's super delicious.
It is, yeah.
It's really
it's like
good.
and super sweet, obviously. And as Antis mentioned, regards the roasting profile, it's hard to define. Is it what is it? Is it like espresso roast? Is it a filter roast?
What is it?
What is it?
What is
Yeah.
it? You know,
Is it the French or
Italians
city
are
or-
watching. They have a question. What is it? You know, tell
Yeah.
me, what is it?
So what we found, we're roasting just enough to get the most sweetness out of this coffee and keep all the flavors.
How'd you get it? Like this? What's the trick? What's the trick?
The trick
Tell me,
is
what's the trick?
The trick. Secret of the tricks is that it's a secret.
Don't tell all the secrets. Just what's the trick?
The trick is to develop coffee beans inside the roasting process. By the roasting process, you know, to make it, it's everything's it's already in there, you know, in a coffee. Our job is just to not to mess up with it, and plus to
Not to
Say-
screw it up, basically,
not screw
to
it
bring
up.
it out. Yeah, and what's inside, just give it out to the people right, to
adding-
enjoy.
adding a sweetness and body to the coffee. So that's the job. That's our job in back there. So that's the sweetie.
So they're probably Martin just adding a little bit of the sugar during the roasting to add the extra sweetness to the coffee.
It sounds like this. Sound like that?
It sounds like that.
Damn it.
No. But obviously, of
No
course,
additional.
no additional. But thanks to the good choice of the coffee, obviously when we travel to the origins and when we see the landscapes, this beauty of the nature, the power of the nature, and each country is marvelous by itself, and it has their own I would say the like specific beauty, right? So either it's like Brazil or Colombia, so they both are like amazing. They both are beautiful, but in a slightly different way. So
Of course,
in a visual, when you see the farms and the land, and when you go to Colombia, it's again another landscape you have, another impression, another flavors dominating more in the coffee
then
and
you're
sweetness.
diving in deeper and deeper. You know what the region was, the micro region was, a farm and terroir and so on. And it's, everything changes the game. Absolutely. And by the way, what we forgot to mention, it's organically grown.
No, I said that in the
You
very
did, yeah?
beginning. Yeah, I did.
Ah, sorry.
So we can rewind it back and like we can see it. So basically, yeah. So this is guys, our new Sweet Dream, organically grown. Please enjoy. Try this coffee. We really hope you're gonna love it.
Also, yeah, as we mentioned before, if you just join right now, that it's
Your name is Martin.
my
My name is Ansis.
I'm from Rocket Bean.
Actually, we are here broadcasting from Rocket Bean Roastery here in Mir Street, Riga, Latvia. In the previous episode, we were talking about Sweet Dream, organically grown coffee from Tolima.
Which is
So continue.
we found the best as an espresso. Although if you like it, you can brew in a Chemex, squeeze through the AeroPress, or make in a cup. Just go wild, you know. Explore the ways you like. There's no boundaries.
I have a question to you, Martin. Like,
Oh
so-
no, okay, another one.
No, seriously. How often do you brew coffee in cup? Like honestly, like
Here?
No, I mean, when was the last time when you brew in cup?
Actually, it was last week at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I did last
You
week.
did,
yeah.
And then when I visiting my mom, then I would be drinking in a cup always there. Yeah. It's amazing. And last time I had actually Brazilian in a cup. it was so nice. So it was just
Slightly a little bit different intensity you get in a cup, right?
Yeah, you get more
complexity.
texture. More
Yeah.
texture, I would say. And,
It's like
more,
a
more
French
sweetness.
press, you know. I like French press sometimes, you know, time to time, changing my clean filter coffee to a little bit more muddy French press when you get like all this, a little bit more of the body and a little bit of the coffee, like a real body, because the small particles are there, right? So actually you're tasting a physical body.
What's your favorite, actually, brewing? How are you brewing at home?
So yeah, to be honest, my still favorite is a Chemex. So that's what I'm not changing. I'm going with a Chemex like 90% of my time, if I'm not traveling. But if I'm traveling, it's only AirPress. Yeah,
I'm V60 guy.
V60 guy.
V60, yeah.
All right.
And AirPress when I'm outside.
So this video is ads free. So the Martin's mom is not sponsored as well, and nobody is sponsoring this video.
Okay,
just,
cool.
Just Rocket Bean, yeah. So his name is Martin. My name is Ansis. We are at the Rocket Bean Roastery, Riga, Latvia. So and in the previous topics we discussed Sweet Dream organically grown coffee. So let's move on to the next coffee.
This is the first time we do the live, actually.
Yeah.
Except festivals. It's
No,
always.
that's always live, but it's not recorded. So, guys, if you have any questions, Q&A answering we can do next time. On some questions, we'll have some time. We'll answer right after the reviewing all the coffees. Yeah. So let's jump into the next coffee, right?
Jump in.
Are you okay? So where are we traveling? We're traveling to one of the amazing regions and one of our. Actually, one of our beloved coffees in the past 3 years.
4 years, yeah.
3 years right now, yeah. So constantly we stick to this coffee just purely because it's every year it amazes us how well these guys are doing.
Not just us.
Not just us. We have some
Helsinki.
Yeah, celebrity wall at the back. So. This is our famous, already well-known Indonesian coffee from the West Java.
From Wilden and Atik Mustafa.
Yeah. So, and this time, this coffee is the previous was
washed.
Last year it was washed, but this year it's closed tank fermentation we have. So. Really mind-blowing coffee, really blows your mind away, and it was really my this year's 2020 like big surprises, and so super happy for this coffee to be in our range. It's 89.25 points on the scoring. Beautiful. It's a peach, vanilla, strawberry jam on a taste notes and
or
red
you
wine.
name it.
Just name it. Actually, it's amazing. Some coffees are when you look on a flavor wheel and you do the cupping and you just basically can mark almost everything, right? So on that. So this is one of those examples actually when you have so much flavors, so much things are going on in this coffee that you can. Pick whatever you want, right? So and mark it on a board. So, Martin, what's your opinion on this coffee from the roast master perspective? How would you like this coffee?
No, it's amazing because I think Wilden and his family, actually, not just the wife and even the kids working on a field or helping with marketing, and they're showcasing the beauty of this industry of specialty coffee industry, and our values actually matches with our values. They're always looking for new ways how to increase the quality, and as we mentioned before, the last batches we bought from them was washed coffee, which already stood out from any other Indonesian coffee, which was more like kind of leading to Kenyan taste profile.
Yeah.
And
so basically, if you have a blind on the cupping table, it's very hard to say that this is Indonesian coffee, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then we had this year kind of next level. So they done experiments with. It's just, as you said, it's mind-blowing. It's like you have everything there, you have this, all the aroma wheel taste wheel in there, and it's like a tropical fruit cocktail. And what's interesting, what they did, so it's tricky. It's not really anaerobic process, but it's in that direction. So they fill up the plastic tanks and close them and leave for a while, and adding some lactic bacteria, which creating these unique flavors. And
It's a yeast. They're adding some yeast, right?
it's a bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really yeast, and yeah. And this, and I think it's just the beginning of the game. So
For Indonesia,
generally, because we started to see more this kind of experimental lots quite recently, like 2-3 years ago. So it was all like a long time before, but they got more popular quite recently. So before that, we thought it's like we had this wash natural and honey. So it wasn't much like anything else. And suddenly, boom! It's like you have so many experiments going around, and so much new flavors opening, and it amazes me. It's like in some point I think it's okay. So what's next? We reached some point where you thought that's it. And then the opening. There's a fairy tale where you have this cupboard where you're opening and you have a completely new world, and this is kind of this cupboard for me. When you're opening it, it's like opening again another world where you can dive in and explore new flavors, new experience. And it's a bit tricky to roast, to be honest. For the first time, it was a very instant experience. Didn't have much information.
Tell us more about like what's in what way it was interesting experience with the roasting. Like,
so let's say
you can see by the beans. Obviously, if you look at the beans, you can already like think that okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky. So, what was your?
It's kind of in between like decaf and natural coffee. It's like super fragile, and you have this development a bit differently. And same with the first crack, it happens slightly earlier than normally. And then when you're brewing, again coming back to the brewing, then I would suggest you to adjust your grinder when you're brewing this kind of coffee, make it more finer, and you will get more like heavier, fuller mouth.
So you get more of the body and like this jammy. Actually, this, when we had this strawberry jam in a taste profile, it was really kicking once you not drastically going finer with the grind, but it's definitely worth to play around a little bit with the grind just to find the sweet spot. Don't stick maybe with your regular grind you have for your Chemex or whatever brewing gadget do you use, but play around a little bit back and forwards to see where it really shines and where you're going to get the most of it, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things going on over here, right? So really worth a little bit play around with the grind and with the brewing technique.
As I said, when you're opening the bag and you're looking at the beans, actually they look probably darkened than they are.
And, the roast profile is still like this as we roast, like it's only roast and a little bit even lighter.
Yeah, even lighter. So very interesting. It's challenging. That's another beauty. It's like
it's great.
Always keep your mind open and looking.
So yeah, guys,
for the ways how to increase your not even just growing and processing, but how you become better at roasting.
Exactly. So this coffee is already available. Please check it out. It's in our web store, and also physically, if you're visiting our shops, then come around, grab some coffee. And it's already getting brewed in our shops. So we have 2 more coffees to go.
And what we had before, if someone just joined live.
So a quick recap. My name is Ansis.
My name is Martin.
So we are here at the Rocket Bean Roastery and talking about our latest coffees coming into our range. And so in previous episodes, we talk about Sweet Dream
And Indonesia.
Indonesia. So now, the next coffee we're going to be talking.
The next one!
The next one is this was the lately coffee. As soon as we launched it, I straight away took it home and play around with this coffee, and it was really like a really experience in a cup. So this is our Ruby range. For those who are familiar with our how we separate the coffees is basically we have a silver range, we have a golden range, and we have ruby range. So the ruby coffees are really rare. So we're getting them not too often. Basically, as often we put our hands on something amazing. So as much as we can find in the market something which blows our mind away and which is something super unique and special, then that usually goes in our Ruby range, and it's always 90 plus coffees. So this is no exception. This is 90.5 scoring, and this is Ethiopian Guji with the bag fermentation.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I remember when we cupped this coffee, we were like, drop the mic, basically. So we're not going to drop this mic, so we still want you to hear us, but that was drop the mic. Amazing. Like, again, so complex. So, but also, like, if you remember when we see in the beans.
That's what I actually wanted to mention. I was waiting for
that was amazing. So, you know that this coffee is very expensive, like highly priced. And so it's 90 plus, but at the same time, when you look on the green beans,
that was terrible.
Yeah,
I was like, come on!
Like,
I thought he's making a joke of me.
Yeah, I was like, is it a mistake? Did you send us the wrong samples? Like, what's going on, right?
You know, you have this in industry. It's called like ground coffee, which is the coffee
the
from the ground you know?
quality, right? So nobody can see the beans, right? So that was interesting. So I remember you came to me also and said, "Oh, Francis, look at these beans, like." They sent us something wrong probably. I said like, no, okay, let's do the sample roasting. Let's roast this coffee. Let's roast this bad boy. And so it turned out really surprising, because as we put this coffee on a cupping table, it was like straight away we understand what's the story about, right? So what is this? And that's really stunning. So. Can you a little bit explain more about the
this bag fermentation.
Story about this bag fermentation? Yeah, because it's also not super typical. It's slightly obviously seen in the industry, but for those who doesn't know that, maybe you can a little bit highlight on the main differences, what's done here.
So the guy, Semyon Abe, he working with a few other projects, and this is his baby. That's good. Thank you, guy.
Like
Thank you, man.
What kind of baby? Like
baby, baby coffee.
Like baby.
And so what they did, they placed the coffee in plastic green coffees. They pick up the best coffee cherries they can find, and separate from they get to the most ripest coffees into the plastic bags, and then they put them in the piles of two. So on top of each other.
Bag on bag.
Yeah.
So they're creating a pressure of.
And then they're leaving for 5 days and exchanging them time to time. So releasing the pressure.
So basically rotating the bottom bag and then the top bag, and then they're swapping them also.
Swapping. Yeah. So and it's not added like the previous one. There was added lactobacteria, and this one it's not. And it's creating like so coffees start to ferment, and it's create a very, very unique. It gets to that kind of very fermented side of the coffee.
Yeah, but it's not like
but it's not
killing you with this kind of that. It's,
not really. No,
it's bad. So it's just like
it looks bad.
No, I mean
inside
like,
it's not.
No, I mean, like fermentation. Some people really don't like fermented coffees, because they feel that it's like kind of defect, or it's like, or it goes towards a defective. But like we can't deny that there is a lot of funkiness happening at that time of the fermentation. So it's a matter of how it's controlled and actually what's the final result. And it's not the unclean cup, so it's quite a clean cup, right? So it's not.
But you have this jammy taste also, what you kind of get from anaerobic coffees. And what's interesting, it doesn't stop with this bag fermentation after they lay out on African beds.
Yeah,
very thin, thick for the first time. For up to 3 days, they dry on these beds, are very thin. And then when it's dry to the raisin stage, then they stack them. Stack them like 5 centimeter ish, and it kind of keeps slow down the drying process. In total, it takes up to 20 days to dry the coffee. So they're covering during the night and hottest period of daytime also.
For me, this coffee was a lot of dried fruits, like this fermentation of the dried fruits.
For me, it was very, very kind of unique. I had this, kids has this perfume, like Barbie perfume, which is very tropical fruit. You know that?
Exotic fruits?
Yeah, you have daughters also, so probably you know this fragrance. And like super intense tropical fruit.
It's very flavor, like aromatic. It's like super intensive on aromatics.
And it sticks for a long time, but it's not in a bad way. Sometimes we like if you say fragrance, it might kind of
feels negative.
Feels negative, yeah, but not in this case. You get the best out of it.
Yeah,
a good fragrance. That's good.
Cool. Amazing.
So Barbie girl.
So a tropical cocktail with dried fruits. So beautiful Ethiopian ruby range coffee from the Guji region. Bag fermentation, 90 plus. So guys, you gotta. It can go better than this. Yeah. So boom. Check this out. Available in our web shops and to our partners and distributors all around the globe. So a quick recap again. So my name is Ansis.
My name is Martin.
So we are here at Roastery, Riga, Latvia, and in previous episodes we talk about our Sweet Dream coffee, Indonesian, and just now we talked about our Ethiopian Guji Ruby range, 90 plus coffee with the bag fermentation. So last but not the least, definitely in today's topic, what we're gonna be overviewing is our new Ethiopian. This is Honduras. Honduras coffee from already known recently, which you've seen in our shelves and in our stores, Norma Iris. So previously that was natural. This is fermented, anaerobically fermented for 72 hours, bio-organic coffee from Copan region. So Martin, what's your like story about this coffee? What you can say a little bit?
Hats off.
Hats off.
Because of in front of Norma Iris, and
no, she's doing an amazing job.
She's a legend, So, and for the
hats off. And
as you mentioned, it's not the actually first year we're having coffee from her. So
no,
it's actually everything started regards these anaerobic coffees for us. It was the first coffee from Norma Iris when we.
That was 2 years ago.
I think so, yeah.
It was 2 years ago. We had the first coffee from Norma Iris.
And it was the first time when we chose anaerobic coffee to have on our shelves.
Yeah, it was the first anaerobic in our range, and that was the first coffee we sold out in a month. Right? So we bought this coffee, and I think it didn't last more than 30 days So we were really surprised because it's again it was super funky, super bright and colorful coffee, mind blowing at the time. So now it's already a little bit more common to have a lot of anaerobics on the market. But again, this year the same story, right? So we experiencing some amazing, beautiful coffee. A great job from Norma
And team.
Yeah, and team.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's like, again, it's actually hard to. We've been thinking what to do with these taste notes recently. You know?
What to do?
What to do with
What
them?
to do with
Yeah,
this? Where to put them?
You cup the coffee, and you have a list of the taste description.
Yeah.
And then you try to get out just like
So basically,
3 or 4.
your space on a packaging is limited, right? So to write everything down, so you have to cut it off. Otherwise, it feels too messy and
It feels
too
like
much.
unfair, you know. It's like actually quite often
Unfair? What do you mean? Like too much?
it's not
like
enough
it's
space, you know. It's like
All right.
because sometimes they're having this notes of feelings,
Emotions,
you know. It's
connection
like
to the coffee.
love, you know. It's like reminds you sitting next to the fireplace and
Alone?
giving this with this one, yes.
With the champagne and
With a
and the beautiful
this
lady
cup of coffee.
and the company. No,
Skip that part.
let's skip that part.
And the coffee is actually it's very hard to get into the box.
This can go instead of the wine.
And yeah, it can.
This
Yeah.
can-
And this one actually is we put a Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre, yeah. So in one of the flavors in the taste description is Cuba Libre. So,
And I'm
but
giving
if people actually they notice it lately, it's already been for maybe 1 year or more.
what's Cuba Libre or
No, it's Cuba Libre been there for a long time. But we use in taste description a lot of products. So
as this one German Lebkuchen.
Lebkuchen, yeah. So Germans, please excuse me for my pronunciation. But yeah, this lately happened quite a lot. Not in this much, but like when we're looking on a Cuba Libre, it's a certain like sensational or experience of the flavors mixed together. So sometimes when you cup the coffee, right? So you have like oh, this is like chocolate brownie, right? So this is like you know some product, yeah. So or some dessert. So and it's amazing once you can put it in a complexity or many products in like many ingredients in one product,
yeah.
basically, right? Like we had this Jaffa cake, so which
you
is
have
like
you have a chocolate, you have a biscuit, and you have a jelly.
yeah, you have a jam, yeah, chocolate, and then a biscuit, and it's all great, right? So and it mixed together, and it's a Jaffa cake. All right, so what about like profile of this coffee?
I mean, like roasting profile.
Yeah, yeah.
It's similar to this one, Indonesia, and again, it's a very fragile, and the boom beans might look like kind of not darkly roasted, but looks kind of more like an omni side, but it's very lightly roasted.
So you mean like the color reading on that coffee would be slightly leaning towards the darker, but not that it's like in a way that it will be roasted darker, but like tonality, how can say it's a little bit more up.
It's more up, yeah, and
what it's connected with, like.
Because of the structure of the coffee beans, I would say similar to the decaf. So they're more like more fragile when you open the bean. When you try to crack them with your hands, it's more fragile than any other.
So what do you suggest for the people how to brew this coffee? And like, do you need to pay some attention on a brewing slightly differently?
Yeah, dive into it. And for example, if you used to brew recently washed coffees, so make the grinder slightly more finer
So basically, again, going on a finer
Yeah.
grind to extract a little bit more of the flavors and get a little bit more of the body
And texture
and texture.
and sweetness. So you want to get this German Lebkuchen
Lebkuchen, yeah.
and the chocolate
Yeah,
and the dried.
German Lebkuchen, yeah. So yeah, this guys is again one more organic coffee in our range. So Norma Iris, amazing job already for many years with us from Capone region, and so this is Golden Range, 89.25 points of the SCA scoring.
Actually, it's very hard to score these coffees. I would score it higher. It's just so what about the scoring? It's just it's a mix, so it's not a mix, but it's like it's given by group of people, and then you get the like middle of the scoring.
Yeah, usually
For-
when you score, we can have, of course, we can calibrate each other to be like judging more equally. But yeah, usually when people are not calibrated, then the scorings can be actually very different. Yeah,
Yeah.
based on your daily experience with what kind of coffees you're working with and which you getting more, what's your personal preference,
Because it,
etc.
yeah, it has these peaks. So when you cup it, it's not like one of the most balanced coffees. In general, I would say Rocket Bean, we're not choosing the balanced coffees. So you choosing this with the spikes.
Yeah, no, we're not. We don't like ordinary, definitely. So we want something extraordinary. That's what we go for, right?
Yeah, full of flavors and memorable coffees.
It should be
So-
memorable, right?
So when you try, it's like, oh yeah. So what is it? So let's say we don't choose the coffee. The coffee chooses us. Yeah.
2 meters.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. So, quick
Brother.
review of what we did today. My name is Ansis.
My name is Martin.
We're at Roastery, Riga, Latvia. So, thank you for staying with us, or thank you for joining us right now. So, quick recap. We were talking today about 4 of our new coffees, which are adding to our beautiful range, and we wish you to enjoy all of these coffees, play around with them, have some fun, really have a pleasure of tasting these beautiful coffees from these different regions. And really big thanks out to the farmers for their amazing job. What they achieve with these coffees is amazing. It's outstanding. Hats off, right? So, guys, we love you so much for what you do, and keep doing the same way. Keep your passion driving you more towards the such amazing experience in a cup, because our customers, our people love that. So keep doing what you're doing, and really big thanks for you, to you for your job. So a quick recap. So we talked today about our new organic Sweet Dream coffee from Colombia. And then the next one was Indonesia, which is again with us, yeah, already for 3rd year. So amazing one. The next one's Martin.
Then about a completely new one, Ethiopia, Ruby Range from Adolo Washing Station, and Semyon Abe. Thank you very much. And then the last one on the table, but not the least one, is bio, organically grown from Norma Iris in Golden Range, anaerobic process. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We love you. So on our website, please check it out. We have 30% off for the orders. Please and check it out.
And when you're checking, so when you do the purchase at the checking point, or write down "stay at home."
Yeah. Use stay
That's
at home
your
hashtag.
discount.
Yeah, to get this discount. And probably the next time we're gonna see you around in live, as today is when we're gonna be answering on your questions, so Q&A time. And we'll see you again. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and have a good day. And always have a good cup of coffee in your mug.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chin chin.
Ciao.
Ciao.